as well as don't do this. I always say if you
why? I
pump
do that
your
all the
mascara,
time.
you gotta dump your mascara. You know why? You're pumping air into the mascara. When you pump air into the mascara, it dries it out. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go like this and stir it. Okay?
I'm 36 years old. Do you realize I've been wearing makeup for like 20 years?
I know. Ah, light bulb moment again. Yes, I'm feeling good. I'm teaching or something today. Hi, welcome to Face It with me, Tracy P. If you are new, this is a show where I do makeup tutorials with a side order of lifestyle advice. Every week, I invite some pretty fabulous people to sit in my makeup chair. We chat, we laugh, we sing, and sometimes we even cry. But we never let our mascara run. Although, we might come close today, and you'll understand a little bit more once I introduce today's guest. But before we meet her, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. I also want to hear from you, so leave a comment below. Okay, let's face it. Okay, it's gonna be a self-love party. My guest today is a pretty big deal on Instagram. You know her as Birds Papaya, and off Instagram, she's known as Sarah. And today, we are going to be doing the 5-minute face, or as I like to call it, the good enough face. That's what I call it. It's good enough. It means you go outside, you look good enough.
It's good enough.
When do you do the 5-minute face?
I gotta be honest, I'm a mom of 4. I have to do a 5-minute face almost every day, so that isn't go-to for me.
As makeup artist, I'm always doing everybody else's face, so the last thing I want to do is do my own face. So today we're going to teach you how to do the good enough 5-minute face. Let's get started. You definitely need concealer, okay, because you're going to spot treat. You need concealer, and then you're going to need just a little bit of powder to set it. You're gonna need something for the brows, just to either comb through the brows, something called a spoolie, it's like for the brows. Then eyeliner if you got the time, only if you got the time, if you're fast, but mascara is a must. Blush if you got the time, but lips are a must as well. Let's go, set the timer, go. So you wanna start with a concealer because I just believe in spot treating. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put just a little bit underneath the eyes, just a little bit right here. And again, you wanna focus on the inner corner of the eyes, because that's usually where the discoloration lies, right? Especially you're saying your mama for the lack of sleep, I know, and it usually hits you right here.
Sure does.
And then you carry it and blend it out. You don't need to put concealer all the way out to here. So I'm gonna do the tip of the nose as well. So just again, where you need it, no need to put it all over the face and have a mask. So Sarah, people love you on social media because you keep it so real. How hard is it to be so authentic?
I think at the end of the day, authenticity comes down to getting to know yourself, and you are always authentic if you're being true to who you are. When I had my first 3 kids, I was before the age of 25, and I felt so alone in the experience of having stretch marks or having loose skin in my belly, or even going as far as having like cellulite, something that almost every woman has.
Oh, sure do,
Yeah,
sure do.
we like all have it.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. So it wasn't until I shared them that I found out that I wasn't alone, and I began to think, how many things are we living in shame for because we're just not seeing it? Sharing my stretch marks, it suddenly was like the secret was told. It didn't have power over me anymore, and I could just go and live my life.
I always want to ask people who do these brave things like that, were you petrified the night before where you're like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, I know it. Like, and a lot of people don't want to admit that. They're like, no, I
No.
just did it. It's like, no.
No. And I think that's what gets misinterpreted so often with confidence, is they think it's like a feeling that you have, and then you go and do the thing. And I'm like, oh no, it's shaking in your boots and doing the
Thank
thing.
you. That's what I say all the
confidence.
time. That's what I say all the time.
confidence.
People say, how are you so confident? I'm like, I do it with my knees shaking. That's what I say. My knees are shaking, and I do it anyways.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
And I think that when you care about something, your nerves and excitement become a part of it because it shows you care, right?
Yeah.
I care about what I'm talking about, so of course I'm nervous.
So what I'm doing here is I'm just adding a little powder on top so to set the concealer that I put in the spot treatment that I did. You always, when you're putting a concealer or any type of liquid or cream, foundation, or product onto the skin, you have to set it, or I'm telling you, it's gonna move.
It's gonna move.
It's gonna move, it's gonna travel, it's gonna pick up its bags and just be like, I'm going somewhere else on the face. So you wanna just set it. And so that's all I'm doing right here. So next step is the brows. You just want to use something like this. It's called a spoolie. You can find these in any drugstore. These are really great for just combing the powder out of the eyebrows. So that's all I'm going to do. You always want to make sure too that you're combing up and out like this, not straight across. A lot of people do straight across like this. That drives me nuts. Don't do that. Always up, because you want to give yourself a little bit of a facelift. Natural facelift, just like this. Now, Sarah, you're a mom of 4.
Mm-hmm. Teenage to 9 months old.
So what does self-love look like for you?
First of all, self-love is not a feeling, kind of like what we talked about with confidence. For me, self-love is very much showing up. And so it all is in a life that is as busy as mine. It's minute to minute, sometimes hour to hour, and it's finding those minutes within the day instead of trying to carve out half your day to, implement your self-love routine, breaking it down to the minutes of the day that you can. I couldn't figure out why I wanted to hold on to doing makeup every day, even though I was talking about self-love. I felt conflicted, and then I realized this was me showing up for myself, and I just loved those minutes of the day, so I've kept them.
I have those moments too where, like, I'm a makeup artist, so people are like, so you talk about self-love and this, that, and the other, but you're talking about like makeup and wearing a mask, and that's so artificial and it's fake. And I'm like, it's not. Like, some people, this just makes them feel better, and do whatever makes you feel better.
We're a canvas, let us be art,
Okay, say that again. You just dropped a nugget for everybody. Say that again.
We're a canvas, so let us be art.
And I'm stealing that.
Yeah, please do.
I love that. I love that. So the next step is eyeliner. Now, eyeliner, again, it's not something you have to do if you really have like 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it, but I really think it really defines the eye. Like, if you got time, you want to look cute, you're going to a party, sure, do eyeshadow. You got 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You're going to the grocery store, you're running some errands. You don't need eyeshadow. Everybody just calm down. You don't need all that.
Yeah, liquid liner is one of my signature things, and people can't believe that I fit it in to doing a 5-10 minute routine, but truly, like what you just said.
I always say, keep your strokes fine if you want a straight line. So do not draw from one end of the eye all the way to the other in one continuous line. Your hand's gonna get wobbly, shaky, and that's when you lose your confidence. Do so little strokes, and that's how you can control the line a little bit better. Okay, so self-love all the time. It might sound great. We've talked about it on panels before, but it's not realistic, is it?
It's not. No, it's honestly, it's another form of toxic positivity, really dismissive. I think all of us have had a moment where we've cried sitting on the floor of our closet.
100%.
Right? We've all had those moments, and sometimes it causes struggle or hiccup in our journey to feel like, oh gosh, this is just another thing I'm failing at. I can't even get self-love right. I can't do this at all. And I think it comes into just honoring your feelings no matter what they are, but learning tools along the way to kind of get past them, not just completely not even acknowledge them and pretend that they don't exist.
Sometimes I feel like even we get that pressure of people are like,
oh,
well, you guys are talking about self-positivity, so you better love every part of your body, you better love every part of your face, you better love everything. And I'm like, that's not realistic, so don't assign that to me.
And it also removes our choice, our body autonomy, whether we want to dye our hair or wear makeup or wear certain things or not. And at the end of the day, I think it comes back to that same point that self-love doesn't have to be a feeling, it's an action. Do we show up every day even though we're struggling through these feelings? That is still love, and that is just as valid in your journey.
100% dropping knowledge, dropping knowledge. So, mascara. Mascara is very, very important to defining the eye. So, we're just gonna add a little mascara, and you always wanna wiggle the mascara from the base all the way up. And that's how you're gonna get the most out of your mascara, as well as, don't do this. I would say if you
why? I
pump
do that
your
all the
mascara,
time.
you gotta dump your mascara. You know why? You're pumping air into the mascara. When you pump air into the mascara, it dries it out. So you're gonna go through your product a lot faster.
Why? You just saved us all money.
I know. Well, that's the thing, right? What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go like this and stir it. Okay? All of that. No. Yeah. So that, look at light bulb moment. See, she was teaching me. I just taught her. Yes. And if you can do 2 coats, here's the tip. A lot of people say, when I do 2 coats, my lashes get all clumpy and da-da. It's because you're not allowing 2-3 minutes for the first coat to dry. What happens? Light bulb moment again. Yes, I'm feeling good. I'm teaching her something today. So if you go on too quickly, it gets clumpy, there's too much product, and that's when you get all those spider kind of looking lashes. Let it dry for about 2-3 minutes. Go on to do something else in your face. Go back and do the second.
I'm 36 years old. Do you realize I've been wearing makeup for like 20 years?
I know a lot of people don't know this one, but that's a good tip. So that's how you get the most out of your mascara and your lashes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so blush is the next step. Blush, again, it's not one of those steps that you have to do, but I feel like when you've put like concealer on your face and then you do powder, you're kind of wiping out your color, right? So what blush does is just kind of makes you look healthy and flushed and alive, right? You just want to work the blush into the cheeks like this. You don't want to pick up too much, because when you pick up too much and you put it on, you end up looking like Raggedy Ann, right? And then you have to try and take it off.
And I think that's why so many of us are scared to use blush. I only started using it in the last year because somebody had taught me a different method, or I think I watched a TikTok on a different method for applying blush and realized I was just doing it wrong. And then once I started using it, I did feel more awake and alive.
You look healthier. It just looks healthier, right? Like, listen, at the end of the day, I'm never gonna have rosy cheeks. It's just not my skin color. It's never gonna happen. It always looks a little artificial, but it still makes me look a little bit more awake. So yeah, I'm just adding a little bit to the cheekbones, to the apples of the cheeks. And we want to add it to the apples of the cheeks because that's the most natural place the sun would hit you. The sun would not hit you where you sculpt. When you're adding blush to this part of your face, it's because you're trying to do like a.
I do love doing that.
Yeah, and I love doing that too, right?
That.
But if we're doing the 5-minute face, we're not kind of going for that. We're just kind of go for looking healthy and natural. And so if you're going for the natural, you want to add it to the apples of the cheeks because that's where the sun would hit you and you look flushed and healthy.
When was the first time you realized you were going to use your platform for body positivity or just telling your story in this way?
Don't say body positivity though for me.
Okay.
Is that a toxic term?
No, it's because I'm a white woman and I'm still in straight sizes. Body positivity is a activist movement that was started by Black women who are in larger marginalized bodies. So I don't want to co-opt the movement.
Should we talk about that?
So I actually used to be a weight loss account, and I had a fairly decent following following my weight loss journey. And then I was going through a divorce and I lost more weight than I probably should have and was healthy for me. And people were still just congratulating me. And at the same time, I had more anxiety around my body. I was petrified to go out in public. And I realized that what I thought was self-love in like getting healthy and, you know, losing this weight wasn't actually answering the question. It was just making other people maybe like me a little bit more, but I didn't like myself anymore. My Instagram and everything has always been a bit of a journal. So it's journaled through, you know, divorce and through exiting from weight loss and diet culture and a lot of disordered eating and into what is self-love and what does that look like for somebody who only knows body hate. And it came through in a lot of ways, like talking about my stretch marks was a huge viral thing because again, I didn't know other people had them like me. I didn't know it until I posted about it.
Girl, if you knew me at the time, I could have let you know. I got plenty.
Even though at the time I was like 8-10 years postpartum, I became a voice in what a woman's body looks like after children or after change, a voice in, you know, exiting diet culture and everything. So it honestly, I think authenticity and self-love always comes down to just showing up, even when it's incredibly uncomfortable and incredibly scary. I think talking about things that make us feel shameful is like my favorite thing to do. We have so many shame pockets and we just live there until somebody allows us to talk about it. So sometimes I just like to be that person.
You're just like, I'm gonna go there. Last step is lips. This is a must, because again, talking about looking dull, if your lips don't have anything, it doesn't even have to have so much color, it just has to have, even if it has shine, something to it, it just kind of brightens up your face.
I love that everything you're doing is all about coming alive.
Yeah.
Not covering, but like bringing life to yourself.
Not covering.
I think that's what gets so confusing about makeup sometimes is people think it's like a mask that you wear and really like our worth doesn't change when we take it off at the end of the day. But it is nice to have it represent the way that you feel. So if I'm feeling fierce, I will wear a bold lipstick because I want that to be reflected through my makeup.
And for me, makeup is art. It's like makeup is art.
It's literally
like,
your job, so yeah, it's art.
So for me, it's fun sometimes to play with that and change things up and make your eyes look bigger and all of that stuff. But on a day-to-day, no. I'm not into like covering everything up.
Let's make us look alive and
let's just make us look alive and good enough. And I think we pulled off the good enough 5-minute face. Look at that, looking fabulous. Well, Sarah, it's been a complete pleasure. You have dropped some serious knowledge today. I'm just gonna do the dropping of the makeup brush. for all the knowledge that she has dropped today. Okay, so if you have not subscribed, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Hit it now, hit it, and hit the like button as well. Hit it. See you next time. Bye.